My name is Katy Bentz, and I haven't won a BAFTA yet, but I will.
Your cat's like, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah.
Hey, I'm trying to sleep.
Yeah. It's like,
We're just quick little intro. This is Indie Not Films. This is you're listening to Haven't Made It Yet. My name is Hayden Garrett. I'm with
Samantha Hong or Sam.
What's the name?
Full government name, the full anthem. Yeah.
Sam.
I really don't ever intro myself as Samantha, so I don't know what. I think I read my name.
You're listening to
screen.
Samantha Hong. The Samantha.
The
Hong.
Samantha. No middle name.
And
although I do.
I wish I had a
people.
larger name too. Hey Daniel. My dad's name is Daniel. And my mom actually does. She says, "Hey Dan," to my dad, and my dad's like, "Hey Hayden, mom's calling you." This is still the intro. We are talking to someone very phenomenal today. This is Katy Bentz. Katy Bentz is a voiceover / actor / full body motion capture artist, which I didn't even know. That's freaking crazy. That's such a cool little freaking job.
Yeah, like I didn't know that they take VO actors and like do that whole process with them. I thought that was just someone like completely like a separate department entirely.
Yeah, I totally assumed, and like I just never even thought to ask, but I assumed that it was just like there's stunt double-esque person that does the body thing, and then there's the voice person that does the voice thing. But Katy does both of them, and she's phenomenal at it. You will know her as Steph from
Life is Strange.
True Colors. And if you don't know it, it's a video game, and it's a really good one. Check it out. You can also check out her Twitch and Instagram and other things too. She's a beautiful person, but we'll get into talking to her. Sam, say something.
You know what? When I found out that she was on Life is Strange, it's so funny. Well, hold on, cut this part. I guess we'll talk. But, like, it's so funny because me and my friends would like watch, like I had a lot of gamer friends in high school, and I just remember sitting and watching someone play Life is Strange, like in person. We'd all hang out, and then one person would just like play the game. We just like watch the story, and now it's kind of like crazy that now we're talking to her. That's awesome.
Yeah,
That's
we've
really
made it. We've made it, everybody.
Making it for me is being an award-winning actor who can be financially supported through acting and have had such an impact in the world that it's just like unbelievable.
So having an impact in that field, or having like changing the world in a way?
I think just having an impact in that field, I don't know, like, how you can just, some of these actors, you like because you watch interviews of them and, I don't know, you can relate to them in some way. I don't know, just kind of like what I'm doing right now with Twitch, where like I'm talking about my life and myself and, but they're also playing these games that help impact their life too. But hopefully I'm impacting their life as well as Katy.
Well, with the award, is this BAFTA thing, is that something that?
Yes, I'm fixated on it.
There you go.
I'm fixed, yeah, I mean, it's literally a UK award. Like I could say like anything here. But yeah, I don't know. I'm just fixated on it. Like I went there. It was amazing. I felt the energy of all of these supportive people around in this industry. Like there's just something so different about voice actors specifically. Like there's no, when you think about voice actors, there's no ego. They don't get to be seen. You're not seeing these people. The ego is out the door, There's just so much camaraderie within the voiceover world, no matter if you are just starting out and you have like one credit, or, you're Jennifer Hale. Like, like I got to talk with Jennifer Hale and she's lovely. She's amazing. She's a wonderful woman. And I definitely look up to her, but like she's great. They're all great. And I was like,
Yeah.
I want to be in this world more. I want to be a part of this. Yeah.
Well, you are.
I
So that's
am.
pretty cool.
Yeah, I am. I am. Yeah, I am a part of it. Predominantly currently right now in the video game industry is where a lot of my voiceover work is. And then I am a content creator over on twitch.tv. So I've been streaming on Twitch for the past 6.5 years.
And she's in this very small game. I don't know if anyone's heard of it, but Life is Strange. She plays Steph, correct?
Yes, that is correct. Yes.
And
I
so
play
you're
Steph.
voice acting for Steph and been doing that for the last few years.
Yeah, so I've had the amazing opportunity, very grateful to be able to reprise her in various things, other games, audiobooks, DLCs. So it's been really fun. And the True Colors, the main game for True Colors that came out, I got to do full performance capture. So that was very fun. I got to do that for the DLC as well. And then the book that just came out, that's the most recent Steph thing that came out, and that was in March, and I got to do the audiobook for that book.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
And performance capture, that's the thing when you're like wearing the balls and everything around you. That must be a trip to try to act with. Like,
yes.
I mean, that true actors can act through like the Gollum suit.
It's definitely something you have to get used to. At first, when I put the helmet on, the helmet's the one that's the trickiest because this helmet comes like there's this bar that comes in front of your face, like, I don't know, like maybe like 12 inches out, and it has a camera on the end of it. So you're moving around and you have to make sure that you don't hit objects, doorways, people, because a lot of the times you get close to people, but you can't get that close, especially in like intimate scenes or you're hugging somebody. Like you have to be very careful that you guys don't bonk heads. So
are you acting out the entire scene while they're trying to capture this, or are there just certain movements that they're just recording, just general movement?
So full performance is the entire thing. So full performance means the body, the face, and the voice all at the same time. So they're capturing that entire scene, and they're going to pull that capture of your body and your face and your voice, and they're going to put it into the game. And the animators are going to animate over your motion capture and your facial capture. And then, the voice gets implemented into that as well. Now, there's just motion capture. So there's a lot of games that will do it separately. Well, they'll have voiceover be done somewhere else in a studio, and they'll have mocap actors come in and just do motion capture, and then they'll splice that together. And then there's some things that don't need voice, like there's some characters in games and animation and movies that don't have they don't need voice for that, so they just have motion capture actors come in, and then that's just recording their body.
And this is very, very tangent-y, but do you do any of the side voices of like the little, like a scream or like a "I'm on fire" kind of thing?
No, so I didn't do any additional voices in any of the Life is Strange games, but I did, exciting enough, today. So I don't know if you've ever heard of Honkai Star Rail. It's in like the Genshin Impact family of games. It's in that same universe. But Honkai came out a couple of months ago, and I have 6 different characters in that game. And today an update came out 2 days ago, and people are now like playing through it. And one of my companion mission characters is out now. So I got to hear her, which is really exciting. So yeah, it's fun to have some additional voices in video games, but I have not done any like random like screams or yells. And I'm like, that's my
very
scream.
tangent. I had to ask.
Not yet. I would love to put me in a Call of Duty game, or put me in put me in the next Modern Warfare, whatever. I'll scream.
I want to like my part of filmmaking I want to add into is be the that one voice from like Star Wars, the scream, where it's like they use it in, like, I think it started in A New Hope, but they've used it in like almost every single action movie since then,
and it's just become this meme.
Yes, like that would be like, that guy, he's probably not making any money, but like he gets to hear his voice time and time again. He's probably 90 now.
Yeah, he probably loves it. Yeah.
So what was the audition process like going into, like, I guess like a game like Life is Strange? Is that similar to like other VO projects that you've done in the past? Like how did it all start?
Yeah, so that was my first ever VO gig. So I moved out here about 7 years ago, and I just was self-submitting on Actors Access, which is a casting site for actors. And I came across this submission, and I just submitted for it. And then I got a audition. I got a callback. It was in person. And I went into a room, and they just like recorded my voice standing up doing these lines. And then they called me back in very similarly. And yeah, then they booked me for that. And that first game that I was in was Life is Strange Before the Storm. And there was no motion capture for me or for performance capture. It was just my voice. So I recorded locally here in LA, and then they took that and sent it over to Denver, which is where the studio, Deckman Games, is located. And then, yeah, that game came out about a year and a half later is when they requested me to reprise my role back in this the new game that came out in 2021. And then that's when they started flying me out to Denver, and I was doing full performance capture. Like, honestly, a dream, like a complete dream. Like, that's something that
a switch of reality.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And I remember the last time we talked, you were saying that from playing Steph, you have built this kind of connection with fans.
Oh yeah.
From people connecting with Steph, and it's kind of been a thing. Is that the thing that got you into doing Twitch? Is that, or have you always been doing Twitch? Yes.
No. Yeah. So after Life is Strange Before the Storm, I was introduced to Twitch by a friend, and they said, you should play the game on stream. And I didn't know what any of this meant. I didn't know what any of these words meant. I was completely unaware. But yeah, I saw from my Twitter that there was a lot of engagement, and people were interested in me and my character. And then when I went on Twitch, those same people, when I went on Twitch, those same people from Twitter followed me over there. So I had these like 30 people, like there were like this little small, fan base that was following me where I was going. And I was like, wait a second, this is cool. And so I decided to start my own Twitch channel and just started streaming just me sitting like in my kitchen, I think, from my laptop. And then people started donating, and like it just kind of snowballed after that. But yeah, I started playing my game, and then I started playing games that were similar to my game, like The Last of Us, The Walking Dead, Uncharted. And it just kind of snowballed after that. So yeah, and I just saw such an opportunity to create, a community and to create this brand. And so that's what I've been doing.
And explain a little bit about that, because we're talking about this concept of parasocial relationships, which I find super intriguing, of like you having a connection with the community that you don't, your relationship goes as close as someone can comment and you commenting back. Mm-hmm. But it still is like a valued relationship that you have, and you might have bad relationships and good relationships in the path of this thing that is the community that you're making. But I would love to hear more about that.
Yeah, no, I appreciate you bringing up the conversation of parasocial relationships, because I don't think enough people talk about it. People only start talking about it in the content creation world when there's an issue within their community, and they need to they need to talk about it now. But I always
define it in your words before we go into it.
Yeah, so parasocial relationship, it can happen with literally any, like it could happen with somebody on the TV, it could happen with a movie star, a streamer, it could happen with somebody over the radio, where somebody who's a listener, a watcher, a viewer creates a relationship with this person that doesn't equal to the celebrity. Like the celebrity does not have that same relationship, because the celebrity never sees this person that's watching them. They never listen to this person. They don't have any kind of relationship with this person. They don't know this person. But this person who watches them, they feel such a connection to them, because they've been watching all of their movies. They follow all of their Instagram feeds. They, follow all these interviews. They know their favorite color. They know all these things about them. They know maybe where they live. Like they almost feel, some people, it goes a little too far, and they feel like they are in actual relationships with them. They feel like they're their best friend. It can get really unsafe. And yeah, that goes as well for Twitch streamers. And it's almost even more, it's almost even, I guess, for a viewer, they feel even more connected to Twitch streamers, because we're talking with them day in and day out constantly. Yeah. And I know a lot about some of my Twitch viewers just because of them talking in the chat, but it doesn't go further than that. I keep a very, a very strong boundary because I've had certain things happen in the past where I'm like, I can't, like, I can't do this anymore. I have to have a boundary between my viewers and myself as a streamer. But I still like value them so freaking much, and I care about them so much. Like I couldn't not care about them. You know, that's the empath in me. Like they're people, and I care so much, and I do genuinely like hope that they are doing well, and I hope that whatever they're going through, like somebody gets a new job or something, like I'll remember that, you know. And but yeah, there are some people who don't understand. I would say the majority of my community, they do understand, you know, what a parasocial relationship is, and they do understand that like I am a streamer and they're a viewer, and like that I don't know them as much as they know me. But there are some people that do not know that. And, you know, we have to remove people from my community. We have to sit down and I have to have conversations with them and say, hey, you're crossing a boundary. So yeah, I think it's a very important conversation to talk about, especially as a content creator with their viewers and with their community. And I don't think a lot of people do talk about it because it's uncomfortable, and we don't want to sound like we're ungrateful. We don't want to sound mean, you know, but also. But
you're human beings.
You're a human being, and it's your safety. It's your yeah, exactly. It's your protection. It's your safety. 100%. Yeah.
So how do you, I guess, on Twitch? I imagine that I have like a slight familiarity with Twitch, not too like in depth, but I guess how do you create your own team, I guess, within that space to make sure that you're taken care of? Like, how do you build those relationships to become like, this is the Katy team?
Yeah. So I have moderators, which is really, really useful. And I'm very strategic about when I add new moderators on. I just added like 4 more, maybe a year ago. And that was like very stressful for me because I had this, you know, core small group of people that I trusted really, really. I trusted a lot with everything. But yeah, I know it started off with, because when I first started off, I didn't know what I was doing. Somebody was like, oh, you need mods. And so I added 2 people at the time. There's 2 people that are like left from that time, and they're still with me. And I think I just really lucked out with those 2 people. They've been amazing, you know, this entire time. And yeah, there's just this like understanding that when you become a moderator, like you're being let into more of my personal life, because we talk about tons of things in our little mod chat. And they understand that, you know, this doesn't leave the chat. This is, you know, just here, just for this mod chat. But yeah, I don't know. Like when looking for a new moderator, when I'm looking for those 4 people that I just added, 4 or 5 people that I had just added, I look for people who've been in the community for like 2+ years. Like I want somebody who's devoted to the community. I don't want any red flags. So like if I see anybody who's been weird, you know, like there's been times where I'm like, oh, this person would be really good, and they do something that's kind of parasocially and odd, and I'm like, I can't let them in. I have to move on. Even though they are, you know, they might be really helpful in chat to people coming in and answering questions and that kind of stuff. But yeah, I definitely am always looking to make sure that somebody's been there for a long time. They understand the community. They're super helpful. And I feel like it's somebody that I can genuinely trust with my information.
Is this something that you found? I mean, you said you kind of fell into and you've been doing it, but what did you see yourself getting into in acting? Was where do you want to go? Where did you want to go? Was it something that you had
great
as
question.
a kid growing up?
So I did theater in high school. I started at like my freshman year. And then I just did it all throughout high school. Then I went to theater. I went to school, like college, for theater as well. And then after that, I was like, I guess I don't know what I keep doing. I just keep doing theater, I guess. But then I thought, well, I'm not a triple threat. I can't sing. I can't dance. So I'm not going to go to New York. So I'll go out to LA and try to do film and TV. So moving out here, I had the mindset that I was going to, you know, be working on film and TV sets. That's all I, you know, knew. And then when I got out here, it was about just submitting for everything I possibly could submit for. And I did some film stuff. And then that's when I booked that voiceover gig. And I think only probably within the last 2 years is when I really was like, voiceover is what I want to do, particularly video games. That's what I have enjoyed so much. I haven't had the opportunity to do voiceover like in animation or much commercial voiceover. I've just been doing video game, but I really, really love it. There's just something so special about video games as a medium to the audience, because it's different than sitting down and watching a movie for 2 hours and then you walk away from it and you're like, oh, that was good. That was cool. I connected a little bit. But when you give people these narrative games and they're literally playing these characters and they feel like they are this character, especially when it's a hard-hitting, topic and theme like Life is Strange, it really, really touches these people. It really changes their trajectory of their life. And that's incredible, to receive messages and emails and letters from people saying that I finally was able to come out to my family, because of your character, because of this game. Like, what? So when I got those letters, I was like, wow, video games are really impactful, in all sorts. I mean, there's people who they love Metal Gear Solid, or they love Dark Souls, for different reasons, but those games, might not have the same kind of narrative, feel of like Life is Strange, but like they mean something to these people, and it has such a bigger impact on them than any movie ever has. And they can keep playing it over and over and over. It's just, I don't know. So that's where I want to be. I want to continue making an impact in the world through video games and through my voice.
And there's so much more potential now for being an actor in video games. Of like Last of Us is a perfect example of actually seeing the live action Last of Us and being like, why do I know this guy? Like there'd be like, because they did little cameos of some of the voiceover people. Like even Ellie, that might be a spoiler for Last of Us, but Ellie's in it at a certain scene, and I was like, I know this person. I know, and then I figured, oh my gosh, it's freaking Ellie, and then it makes the scene so much better that it's like, this is one of the people that made this game so impactful. And yes, she's just a voice, but she's so much more. Joel is so much more, and like these voiceover roles are becoming like almost, they're stepping out of their reverse shot that a game usually is, and being more animated and feel like they come alive.
Yeah,
it's
definitely
cool
the tech,
to be a part of that.
and I'm not too well versed on all of the tech of motion capture and full performance and all of that, but I do know that it is getting better and better. Like every year, there's new tech coming out, and it's just amazing what's happening, and it's going to be more real. You're going to start seeing like video games, I'm pretty sure are going to start looking like movies. Like you're going to start seeing like it's going to look real. And you'll be like, well, that's exactly the actor right there. But it's all captured digitally through like full performance. It's wild. Yeah. So
what's your relationship with video games before? If that's a question I could ask, I don't know.
Yeah, for sure. Of course. So I played a little bit here and there when I was younger. I think I don't remember if we just had a console. So I would just play random games on there. Somehow got a hold of Grand Theft Auto Vice City, and I played that a lot.
There it is.
Which is just so funny. Like probably when I was 11 years old, driving around,
prime age,
picking up hookers, and then like going and murdering them on the beach and stealing their money. Like I'm 11 years old. Like that's what I was doing. So yeah, that was my video game. Yeah. And then I played a lot of Spyro as well. I had like a Spyro game that I enjoyed, and yeah, but I wasn't like hardcore like gamer. And then once I went into high school and then college, I didn't play any games at all until back in 2017. Yeah. So that was when I got back into it. And, now I'm okay. I'm an okay gamer. But when I first started off, I was really bad on Twitch. But yeah, so I enjoy it. There's a lot of games that I'm like, I don't know, like I can't do open world games. Can't do them. I get so lost. I like puzzle games. I like the choose your own adventure games. I like games that, have a good impact. Like Hellblade. I don't know if you've played Hellblade, but oh my gosh.
No.
Oh, that one is like, that's the stuff I'm talking about. Like that left an impact on me as a player, just like, holy crap. So that was a great game. Yeah.
I mean, I just think that in general, like video games, as we were saying before, like, I mean, just the intellectual property that comes from video games, I from hearing on my side, so I work for like a independent studio, we talk all the time about IP, like intellectual property, and specifically everyone, it's like video games or like the range. I like totally agree. I think it's just, there's so much more content, I guess, in a video game. Like you're expanding so much more. I can totally just see that everything is just going to collide together.
Mm-hmm.
I guess I'm curious, as like a voiceover actor, I know SAG just went on strike. How is that affecting you? How is that going?
So luckily the voice actors aren't being, they're not feeling this. Of course, everybody, is in support of what's going on. And, but yeah, it is theatrical and TV that is being affected by this right now. So, yeah. So any kind of like new media, like features, TV, sitcoms, all that kind of stuff is what's being affected. So luckily the voiceover actors are okay to continue working. But when it comes to like a TV show, like a TV animation show, I think that's where the gray area is. Then like, I don't believe that voice actors can work on those things or like feature films, because then it goes into that same contract as theatrical and TV. So, but like video game, that's fine. Commercial, that's fine. Audiobooks, that's fine. So yeah, there's a lot of, if people are listening to this and you're confused and you're wondering, what can you work on or what can actors work on? SAG-AFTRA, like if you just go to their website and you look up SAG-AFTRA strike and you look up all of their resources, they have a ton of resources to inform people on, what's going on first and like, what's happening with the strike, why are we striking, and what can actors work on, what's safe for you to work on. And there's even like a bunch of stuff with content creators and influencers too. Everyone's just trying to come together. And that's the thing, whether you're, non-union, union, like at this point in time, like we all just need to come together and not work on those kind of things, because that's going to make such a big impact on the strike and show the big guys that we're not going to work until we get fair pay and better contracts and not have AI take over our jobs. So yeah, it's definitely a really scary thing. But now is the time to fight, because it's only going to get harder. AI and all of this stuff it's only going to get worse. So as long as we fight now, I think we have a better chance in the future. And
all of this is just going to be like a trickle effect to all other departments. Like I don't see this as just actors, just writers. Like if writers get better pay, it's gonna help the art department along the way. Like it's just gonna go into all different aspects. It's not just gonna stop there.
Yeah, and I was talking with one of my friends and they were saying that as far as AI, like if AI takes over an actor's job and there's no actors anymore, you just have AI out here, that takes away the makeup artists. That takes away the wardrobe folks. Now there's no jobs for makeup artists or wardrobe folks in the industry because they don't need to put makeup or wardrobe on anybody. Oh, you're going to start doing artificial intelligence for the environment? Okay, I guess we don't need any prop masters anymore. No prop masters, no lighting. Like it just, so I just hope that everybody in the industry understands that like this is serious. Like this doesn't just affect actors. It doesn't, it's or writers, it's affecting everybody. So like, yeah, it's scary.
What keeps you going in this? Why do you keep, in this, especially nowadays with the, AI taking over, acting and strikes happening, the work being a little bit difficult to get. What keeps you going into this field?
The love of it. I just enjoy it. I just find joy in it. I find joy and excitement in, being able to approach a new character or a new story or a new scene and be able to explore that and figure out how to bring it to life and how do I add a different, touch to it than past characters. And then the community, the fans, of these games that I've been in, of these characters that I've been, and then just my personal community. They are so supportive of me and, it's amazing. Like, I just want to keep impacting people in any way I can. And yeah.
If you had a dream role, just like any video game character, or just any character really.
Yeah.
What is the dream?
Well, okay, so it would be so sick to play some kind of Harley Quinn like esque character. I would absolutely love that. That would be super fun. But just like a femme fatale like character would be cool too. Just some kind of like kick-ass character who's got a mission and to just kick ass. I don't know. Something like that would be really fun. And then to be able to do like stunts for that would be awesome.
Yeah,
So cool.
because you're doing are they doing motion capture for that too? The VO person for like a Harley Quinn person.
I mean, it depends. You know, there's a lot of like actors who, like for instance, like I haven't seen Avatar yet, but like Avatar was like completely like, oh my gosh, that thing was mocapped. And if you're interested at all in performance capture, please go check out some behind the scenes of that, because it is insane what those actors did and what the entire crew did for that. But yeah, I mean, it depends. So like things can be, you know, mo-capped or performance capped. And yeah, so it just really depends on, I guess, the studio and the project.
Yeah.
So what's your like process? Like I know you were saying that you like, I mean, the different ranges of character, like going from Harley Quinn, like is like such a specific character to like maybe some of the other characters you've done. Like, what is the mental process going into that, or even physical, I guess, going between character to character for you?
Yeah, I don't do many character voices, to be honest. So I guess it's just about like, I guess, because when you do voiceovers, sometimes you're not in the studio for like 2 months and then you return back to this character and you just have to dial in. So it's about, for me, I listen to, you know, some past recordings of the character to make sure that I'm back in that same, you know, vocal place for the character. I've got everything in line. And then, yeah, it is just about just going to work. I don't know. It's just keying in, dialing in, and yeah.
I see a piano in your little screen there, or little keyboard.
Is that something? No, it's a lie. So I got it. A viewer had sent it to me because I was doing singing lessons, and I wanted something to like play with while I was doing scales and stuff. I can play like a little, like I can play Vanessa Carlton's 1,000 Miles. That's it.
Okay.
That's pretty impressive. That's a piano heavy song.
Well, I mean, I can just play like literally the chorus and then that's it. But yeah, no, so it just sits there. But yeah, everybody like on my Twitch stream, they're like, oh, you play the piano? And I'm like, oh no, it's just there. But yeah, I'll dabble with it a little bit here and there. Yeah.
With the future happening, where do you want to be later on? Like let's say 5-10 years, is voice acting going to be continuing a thing, or do you want to branch into other fields?
No, voice acting for sure. Like that's what I want to be doing. Like if I could transition, you know, cause like I stream on Twitch pretty much full time. And I love streaming on Twitch, but you know, voice acting is what I want to do. And if I could be a full-time voice actor, like that would just be amazing. Like just going from job to job and just like, you know, having all these different projects come out and, you know, seeing people excited about it. Like that would be the dream. Yeah.
And you kind of had to create your own brand, like almost kind of you being the brand in this process. Oh, yeah. Could we talk a little bit about that? Of
sure.
like what are some pros and cons of like that whole process?
Yeah, well, I think that there's so many pros. I always tell any kind of voice actor who's worked on a video game, I'm like, you need to stream on Twitch. What are you doing? Yeah. Like stream on Twitch. Like there is such an advantage to doing that, you know, for yourself as a brand, as an actor, as a creator, as somebody else who wants to continue getting more jobs. You know, and there's fans out there that like want to support you, which is really cool too. Like they want to, you know, come in and tell you how, you know, happy they were about the job you did or whatnot. But yeah, so I always think that any kind of voice actor, if you've been in video games, stream on Twitch for sure. And then, yeah, just go out on social media and interact with your community, interact with your fans, interact with your followers. It means the world to them. Like it is so cool for, you know, a follower of a game that you worked on, for them to get a response back from you. It means so much to these people. And then, you know, you slowly just start building, you know, a fan base from that. The more active you are, the more people are going to find you, which is really cool as well. So Yeah, I mean, the cons, it's exhausting. Burnout's real. Like I think I don't know, I think I might not be burned out right now, but I was on burnout for like 3 months. And it's real.
I'm on my burnout phase right now.
Yeah, it happens.
It's not fun.
It happens. I mean, that's a lot with freelancers in general, like just people who freelance all the time, because we're wearing so many different hats constantly, and we have so many different sources of income coming in to try and like survive, that we're like, we have to do it all. So yeah, definitely like, you know, being your own manager and entrepreneur and like trying to manage all of that stuff is a lot for sure. You know, I definitely envy people who have personal assistants to do a bunch of the stuff that like I wish, you know, I could just like hand off, but I can't. But yeah, no, I mean, being a brand is in yourself is very important, I think, as a video game voice actor for sure, especially in the gaming world.
Do you think it like affects your like castability almost, or like booking a job, like the more involved you are with like within the gaming community or just like VO community in general? Do you think that affects any of that? Like,
yeah, I mean, I definitely like, I just had a game release in May, one game release in May, and I self-submitted for that back in like May of last year. And I think the fact that I was in Life is Strange had a huge positive to that, because they mentioned it. They're like, oh, you're in Life is Strange. And so they probably saw that and then, you know, paid a little bit more attention to my audition or me or whatnot. And so, yeah, I think that definitely helped, you know, having a resume and building that up. And yeah, and then being involved in the gaming world too, as a video game voice actor, I think really helps too. Because then you understand a little bit more. And I'm pretty involved as well, like on the dev side. Like I know a lot of dev people, especially, you know, working with Deck 9 Games through True Colors. I've met a lot of people that way. So I have a good understanding of like what it takes to make a game, and utmost respect for developers. And I think that's also helpful too. Like being a voiceover artist in the video game world and understanding how hard it is to make a game, and knowing that there is so much more to this game than just your voice is like a must. You have to know that, and you have to understand that, and you have to ask questions. And yeah, because the video game world on the dev side is just like, it's really tough for some of these devs. I mean, the turnaround, like people people are getting fired a ton, like a lot, and losing their jobs just based on projects not working out, or, you know, money being lost. And it happens so much. And these people just want to make games. They just want to make games. So there's a lot more to it.
To go.
Are you representing yourself a lot in terms of like the business sense of it? It's just like you're your biggest advocate for sure.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I've had not the best success in trying to get an agent in the voiceover industry. It just hasn't happened yet in terms of that. And so yeah, definitely being an advocate is like the one thing that I rely on, is making sure that, you know, I'm putting myself out there, making sure that I'm trying my best to get myself as, you know, many different opportunities as I can. And yeah, it's hard, definitely. But I know that eventually I'll find myself in the spot with a good VO agent, and I cannot wait until that happens.
I guess if you had to give like an up and coming Twitcher, like maybe like the biggest takeaway for you, what would you say?
The biggest takeaway of Twitch streaming?
Yeah, or like, yeah, to like, I guess, grow their business. Like we were saying, like you really like grew your own brand and like growing your channel. Like how I feel like definitely being attached to game helps, but you have like to do so much other legwork to get to this point. Like I guess if there's any aspiring Twitch streamers out there, what would you say is like the biggest like helpful thing?
Yeah, interacting with your fan base, interacting with your community, interacting with your followers. You know, there's so many of those big streamers. Like they're big because, you know, they are great at games or something. I don't know. They're just big. They got a big following. And there's some that are like medium sized, and you'll watch these streamers and they don't even talk to the chat. They don't talk to the chat. And it's like, it blows my mind. It's like, man, like, and that's something that I saw immediately. And I was like, I don't want to do that. I want to talk to everybody in my chat. I want to make sure I say hi to everybody. I want to read everything. I want to thank every single sub that is gifted to me. and I want to make them still feel seen and feel a part of something. And I think that is something that has helped me grow. And I think that would be my best piece of advice, is just interacting with your community and making them feel seen every single stream.
In this podcast, we have some of our formal questions. One we kind of got into with 5 to 10 years, where do you want to be? But the part 2 of that question is a message to you. We want this podcast to be kind of a time capsule for you to be able, in 10 years' time, we can send this message to you, and you will hear your voice talking to you in what you want to hear. So talk to Katy right now and ask her tell her what she wants.
Okay. All right. So Katy, it is 10 years from now. 10 years earlier, you were sitting on this podcast called Haven't Made It Yet, talking about life is strange and your journey. And all I can do is know that you've had so many successes over the last 10 years. And just want to tell you that you're going to have so many more successes, even if you're struggling right now, because, you struggled a lot in the past as well. But there's always a silver lining, and there's always successes within the struggles. So just keep pushing forward, even if it's hard right now.
Yeah. And with failure comes change, which is just so beautiful. It's something I just got off the phone with someone talking about, like them wanting to make this movie, but they don't feel like they have what it takes, and like they don't have the experience. It's like, well, you just got to kind of do it. And when you're doing it, you can fail. And then when you fail, you can know how you can do a little bit better. Yep. And it sounds like you're getting a little bit better every day, and it's really cool. I get to see your whole little setup for Twitch. It's kind of making me. It's such a beautiful room. By the way,
thank you.
I love the light. I'm
so
glad.
Messy.
Messy. I mean, I'm so glad we're not.
You can't see. There's a bunch of boxes. Now. Xbox sent me like so many controllers and things the other day, and I was like so stoked about it. And I unboxed them, and they're just all over the floor, like all the boxes, and I need to take care of it. So
I want to ask about that too. Also, like, I mean, is that like a frequent thing of like sponsorships through different like Xbox and?
Yeah, I haven't been able to have like a partnership or sponsorship with a big company before yet. I'm very hopeful and hoping that I can at some point, have like an ongoing sponsorship, a monthly thing going on with a monthly retainer. That would be amazing. But I just have a good relationship with Xbox. They've been freaking amazing and kind to me. And they've just sent me these accessories as a gift, just to say, here you go. Here's a gift to you. Yeah.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
There's no like gotta sponsor it or you gotta play with it.
No, they Twitch. Literally say you don't have to do anything with this. You just, if you post about it, just say you got it as a gift. And I'm like, okay. Yeah, like they sent me this headset. They sent me like this is one of the controllers they sent me. It's like really pretty. Yeah, it's
if you're
crazy.
Listening, Xbox, I'm available. I like gifts too. I don't.
Yeah, it's crazy. I still like. I've never had this kind of like love given to me from a company before, like this much. Like it's insane. I'm like, what the? Like I love Xbox. Xbox great. PlayStation, what the hell are you doing?
Thumbs up. Come on.
Xbox.
Come on, PlayStation. 3 controllers or we're out of here.
Yeah. I know I have an Xbox controller collection now. I probably have like 8 controllers. I'm like, it's wild.
One for each day.
Yeah, exactly.
And plus an extra.
Yeah.
To switch around. Cool. My last thing is just any final thoughts, anything that's just kind of rummaging through your mind that you want to force out to the world.
I don't know. Today is a good day. Today is a good day. So
why is that?
Just lots of good things are happening. Like the Honkai voice came out, and so I got to see that, which is cool. Yeah, like some of the controller companies contacted me, asking like to potentially work and do stuff with them, which is awesome, just because I posted, about it, which is cool. So yeah, just like some good things are happening. I'm feeling really good today, and that's good because I think more often than not, I've been having a lot of tired, long, stressful days. So today's good, and I'm very happy about today being good. So
there you go.
Oh no, I was saying that's great. I feel like sometimes even just like taking I feel like I always take things for granted, like just being present. It's good right now. We're keeping trucking. Everything's, as best as we can possibly be. That's great. I love that sentiment.
Yeah, because it might not have a good day for like 2 months.
Yeah, sure. That's so fair.
Well, it comes and goes. Like you have to appreciate the process.
It's crazy how like you could feel so distraught and feel like nothing's on your side, and then all of a sudden, like the next day, like all these things pop up and you're like, what the fuck? Like what's happening? It's wild. Like you never know what's around the corner. You really don't. So if you're out there and you're struggling, if you're feeling like you're not good enough, if you're feeling like you're not, getting opportunities you feel like you deserve, just keep working. Yeah. Keep trucking along because you never know what tomorrow is going to hold. Like it could just change your mood. It could change your day. It could change your week, your life. You don't know. Yeah.
Well, I have to say, Katie, I haven't seen your Twitch yet. Sorry, I'm a bad researcher.
Wow.
But it's not saying I won't.
Wow.
It's saying I will in the future. But I've been keeping up with your Instagram, and I see the same energy with your fan base through your stories and through the stuff that you post. Of there is this great I feel like almost an aspect of your life that you're sharing, which is a really cool thing that we're able to do nowadays with today's technology of kind of sharing people glimpses of what you're doing. And it's really cool for you to be able to show that and be comfortable with that.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I'm very much an open book. Like I don't hide anything. I'm very vulnerable. That's another thing too with my streaming community and the folks that watch me. I'm very vulnerable. If I'm going through something that is hard for me, I'll talk about it on stream because not only is it helpful for me to talk about it, but more like I've seen as I've talked about vulnerable situations that people can relate to it and say, oh my gosh, I had the same exact thing happen to me. I'm going through this thing too. Or, I have the same health issue as you do. And it makes them not feel alone. So like the more times I can just open up about something I'm going through and hopefully help somebody else know that they're not alone. Like I don't know. That's why I don't hide anything. I'm just like, hey, put it all out there.
It's the reciprocal nature.
Yeah.
Back and forth.
Yeah, exactly. Because it's really easy to feel alone. Like, maybe you get like a diagnosis of something, and you're like, fuck. You just think your world's over and you think that, how are you going to live like this? How are you going to live with this diagnosis you just got? And turns out there's so many people literally in your sphere who are dealing with the same exact thing you're dealing with. And to know that they're living it through it gives you hope.
Well, thank you so much.
Yeah. Thanks for having me. This was really fun. I really enjoyed this structure as well. It was just a cool conversation.
Yeah, you're our first VO artist and motion capture. I honestly didn't even know about that.
Heck yeah.
That's full body motion capture. That's really cool.
Yeah, this was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed this podcast. I've done a ton of podcasts too, and this is one of the ones that I've enjoyed the most. Just so you know.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. You guys are great. Like this was
the other podcast.
Very natural. Yeah. It was very natural. It was just fun. It was good energy. So yeah.
We just want to know about you. And this is the best way to do that is just to go straight into it.
Yeah. No, I appreciate that. Yeah.
But yeah, we're now fading out into this outro. Is there anything that you want to do as your voice is fading out?
I don't know. Goodbye, everybody. Thank you so much. I appreciate you for listening. Goodbye.
Sam, anything else?
No, this is great.
Oh yeah, everyone's having a good day. It's just a good day.
Good vibes all around.
You have no excuse.